Welcome, everyone, to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
And also, today, I think this is the first time in a while we've had Son X back on the podcast once again. Welcome back, Son X.
Son X looks like a mutt.
It's X time. Let's get it. Grumpy.
He does look a little disheveled, Grumpy, and I'm not looking so great either. But it's the pot calling the kettle black. But man, X is always coming here dressing up in a sweatshirt with a baseball hat on every single show. X, come on,
shave, mutt boy X.
I'm happy you lost in fantasy.
He's a mutt boy. Oh,
I want to see X. I want to see next time you show up in a shirt and tie. That's what I want to see you. I want to see you come up dressed to the T.
Coming from the guy who doesn't wear sleeves. Don't want to hear it.
You know, here's the thing.
Nice at least my shirt has sleeves, buddy.
Oh.
I asked the warden.
My shirt has sleeves. You cannot afford. Great success.
The warden has asked X and TJ both to send us Christmas pictures because we like to send out Christmas cards, one of those pictures, and we see how everyone's doing. And, TJ did his part. He didn't look bad, but, Liza's in the picture and Lovely Page is in the picture, and TJ was there. At least looked like he combed his hair. X looked like he just rolled out of the gutter.
Honestly. Oh, my God. No one cares. Let's get on with the show.
You know who cares? The warden cares. And this is it. That's exactly that scroungy, bearded, not shaved look. Exactly what he had.
I do agree with you. I do agree with you, Grumpy.
Oh my God. Is this just Attack X podcast? Like, we're not even going to talk sports. Let's just bash on him the whole show. Come on.
We
just had rivalry week in college football. Here we are avoiding talking about that.
Why are we only seeing one of your multiple?
No, you want to know why I think Grump's avoiding talking about that? Because one of my predictions came correct.
What prediction did you have, X?
What prediction?
Miami losing to Syracuse.
Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter. You notice how the polls, what did I tell you last week? What do the polls do? They wind up adjusting based on who's making the conference championship games. Oh, this guy takes a big lead. They take a big lead. That's what you're going to see. It doesn't matter. All those shitty teams that have 3 losses are out, and you're going to see.
No, I tell you, you're wrong there. I think you're absolutely wrong. South Carolina
is going to make it in,
and South Carolina has 3 losses. Grumpy,
they're not going to make it in.
If Clemson beat SMU, they beat literally a champion, a conference champion. The last game of the season.
Here's the thing: SMU will make it, even if Clemson wins. SMU's making it in.
Yeah, with 2 losses, they will.
Yeah, I don't think right. Like we'll pull that up here because there's we're going to talk some college football. Simple as that. I want to go ahead and bring up a pervasive issue that I talked about last week that Grumpy seemed to not care too much about in college football. I talked about how crazy it is that, hey, Nebraska was bowl eligible and the fans stormed the field and USC beat UCLA and they planted the flag down. I'm like, I said, what is this? We're celebrating mediocrity.
I said that planting the flag is a bad thing. Because what you do, and I've said this the first time it was done in when Oklahoma did it to Ohio State or wherever it was. You're just asking for trouble. Anytime that you showboat excessively, you're running the risk of people getting really pissed.
Yeah, but
no, there is no but. There is no but. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Stop freaking out. Stop having a meltdown.
Hey, I've had machine gun turrets up there.
Stop having a boomer blow up and listen for 1 second. Stop having a boomer blow up and listen for 1 second.
Mow them all back.
We didn't even have flags. Okay, so listen to me for 2 seconds, please. Okay,
we're in a limited time, so get to your points quick.
The reason Oklahoma and Baker Mayfield did that was in reaction to when Ohio State beat Oklahoma at home and they sang the Oklahoma fight song. That's the only reason they did it.
Don't do it.
Reason. Don't go singing fight songs at other people's home stadiums.
Who cares?
Don't go singing their fight songs, showing a team up. Then you're going to get it done back to you, period. Okay. That's just what's going to happen. Don't complain.
It's dumb. It's stupid. I think there needs to now. Okay, the amount of flag planting and fighting at the end of every single one of these rivalry games that happened, I don't know, all this weekend. And we've been talking about it for the last few weeks where I'm like, why are we celebrating mediocre achievements? You beat your rival. Okay, congratulations. You get your little trophy, carry on, walk on about it. But it's just like, every single team, now that they beat the rival, it's like, great, we're going to go plant the flag. Now, here's a few, right? Here's a few of them. Well, NC State beat UNC Chapel Hill. Let's watch.
In the middle of the field with fans on the field, this is not a pretty scene.
They start fighting each other and punching each other.
This is scary. You got players with their helmets off.
Yes, you know how you stop it? Your team was not eligible for a bowl.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
That's it.
You know what? Here's the other thing, too. Maybe the team that lost, like Carolina, should have fought a little bit harder during the game, and then they wouldn't have to deal with this.
I'd have been fine with that, too.
Bowl ineligible.
Yes.
Ineligible. You want to spite? You want to put that thing on there? You're bowl.
Whatever team runs out there with the flag and plants it, immediate bowl ineligibility for the rest of that year. Don't care if it's the first game of the season, last game of the year. Don't care if you're undefeated. No bowl game.
No bowl game.
Okay, so what happens if they don't plant the flag and then these people still fight because they're sorry-ass losers because they can't win a game and they get all pissy? Then what? Okay, then I guess bowl ineligible too, right?
No, that's fine.
We've seen that shit happen before in rivalry games. We saw it last year. What was it against Eastern Michigan played?
Have you noticed
from behind?
Have you noticed how there's a lot more of these happening this year and this week? It's because every single one of these, what did we see at the very first?
Children.
Here's a flag.
Children.
What are we seeing here? In Michigan. Look at this.
They're running out with a flag.
Okay, look at this. They're singing their away song, and you got a whole bunch of guys who are probably bench warmers over here. We're gonna go plant the flag. Woohoo!
They haven't planted anything.
What do you think they're doing right there?
They're holding it up.
They're about to go plant the flag.
Up. Nothing's been planted. Nothing's been planted. They're waving a flag.
Just stop. Here's the thing.
They just planted right there. Okay,
nope,
let's like all the clips. Yes, it did. Stop being stupid and facetious. Look at it here, Lex.
Fight harder during the game. How about that? You fought harder to take the flag away from those kids than you did during the game.
There it is. So again,
fight harder during the game.
Okay. Anytime where you have to have cops come in the field and pepper spray the teams, you've gone too far.
That's
okay.
Right.
They have to treat it like
it's just stop it. Bowl ineligible. Period.
Oh my God.
You're not eligible. Just here's the thing. Thank God you weren't in charge during World War II. Hitler would still be running wild all over the world. You got to stop these people at the beginning. You cannot let it continue. Stop it. Just tell the children that they're not allowed to do that shit. How about this? You lose your scholarship. Go to work at McDonald's.
What does it matter if a team does that?
You throw a punch. Here's the thing.
What does it matter?
You throw a punch and start a fight at the end of the game. 5-game suspension.
Well, apparently you can throw punches during games and you don't get any suspension. So
you absolutely do. If you throw a punch.
No, really? I sent you a clip. Go look at it.
One clip. Yes, I did see that. But guess what? That's one where if the ref's paying attention, again, immediate suspension for a game. You're not allowed to punch somebody in the face. I don't care how it looks. You can't do it. And if you do it after the game like that, 5-game suspension. And it bleeds over to next year. So, hey, if we're in the bowl game and we throw a punch, great. I've got 4.5 quarters. I got 4.5 games that I can't play next year because of my reckless behavior. That's going to really get you like, maybe I should go out there and do dumb shit.
If you make the punishment severe enough, it stops all that silliness.
Yes, because this is just ridiculous.
Okay, you realize it's not the planting of the flag why these teams are fighting. You know that, right? They were doing it last year. They were doing it last year when their team got their ass beat.
Get your head out of your ass.
They weren't going to fight. They were singing the home song, and then the Michigan guys who won the game, it wasn't good enough for them to beat Ohio State at Ohio State and have bragging rights. They needed to then say, at the end of the game, let me go ahead and bring out the flag. I'm going to go plant the flag. And what is the one thing that's consistent? Anybody who goes out there with a flag and plants it in another team's stadium, guess what? Every single time it garners a reaction from the opposing team. And that is just the way it's gone right now. So the team who does that, who instigates, boom, bowl eligibility. You bring a flag out there and you plant the flag anywhere and on the field, boom, bowl eligibility at the end of the game. Simple. Hey, you're ineligible. Sorry. Thanks so much for your contribution to college football this year. You're ineligible.
So what if they're showing up another team? Who cares? Who cares?
I don't care what they're doing.
Why can't the other team control themselves enough to not start a brawl?
You got to play whistle to whistle, X. And guess what? That's what you do.
Why can't the other team control themselves enough to start a brawl, right?
Why do the Michigan players find it necessary?
Who cares? Who gives a shit? They didn't do anything wrong.
Well, obviously, the Ohio State players did.
What did they do wrong? They showed up another team. Who cares?
Here's the thing.
That's the same thing as Ohio State running up the score and saying I couldn't go for 3, or I went for 2 because I couldn't go for 3. It's the same exact shit. It's the same shit. They started a fight after the game, or during the game when that happened.
You playing football
It's the
well
same
enough.
thing.
You playing football well enough where you run out the score is not the same thing as taking your
It's
liberty.
the same thing. It's showing up your opponent. It's showing up your opponent. It's exactly what it is. It's the
There's a
same
difference.
exact thing.
There's a difference.
It's
If you're
not.
doing it during the game and
It's
the team
not.
can't stop you, it is. It
It's
is. I'll
not.
tell you one thing. You shouldn't be doing things like that either in rivalry games saying, we're
Well,
up
they did.
55
Maybe that's why Michigan decided to do that, is they remembered that.
Will you shut up and let him finish his point, please?
You're just so squawky right now. All I'm saying is this.
Little bitch.
All I'm saying is this, X. You can't do stuff like that. You've got a whole bunch of, I mean, huge individuals, huge men that are going to go out there. They're going to defend their pride and their honor. They just lost. Their tempers are going to be flaring. And so what happens after they lose? Well, you've got a few bench warmers who have so much energy at the end of the game where it's like, let me go ahead and run out there and go start planting flags because we're going to have a good old time. We're going to talk some smack to our rivals. You just beat them and you potentially knock them out of the college football playoffs. Was that not enough? That wasn't enough to celebrate. You earned bowl eligibility and your team was awful this season. You were awful for Michigan. This is your little shimmering light, and this is how you determine to go ahead and tarnish it, is with a huge fight at the end, with a brawl that was completely unnecessary. I'm sorry. And it wasn't just them. That's the thing, X. It's always the flag planting. So, like, here's another one. Well, this is Ryan. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. Ryan Day is he's about as done as I think you can get done at Ohio State.
The only team he can't beat, you're wrong. The only team he can't beat is Michigan.
They don't play anybody all year long. They never play anybody. They couldn't beat Oregon because that's a good squad. They beat Penn State because Milk Dud, James Franklin, never beats anybody. And you're looking here at James Day. Just look at the reaction from him as all the chaos is ensuing. Just watch this. This is now Jack Sawyer, a senior defensive end, who's freaking out over here. Just watch. Let's just watch Ryan Day. Watch him.
We're not fucking playing the flag on our field here, bro. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck these guys. Play the flag on our field. Fuck you.
Look at Ryan Day. Doesn't strike me as a leader. Look at him. I'm sorry. Move on, Ohio State. That guy's never leading you to anything. You'll be good because Ohio State can always recruit and you play nobody out of conference. But I'm like, this guy is not the right answer. You'll never win a college football playoffs with this guy.
Can I make a wager? I'll make a bet right now. Ohio State kicks the living shit out of Michigan next year.
No.
I don't doubt it.
They will kick the living shit out of them next year.
I don't doubt it. Here's another one. Look at this. Texas doing the same thing. Let's go out and start dancing. Let's start dancing on the middle. Like, what's the point of this?
Just stop. Just stop.
Kicking around like
they were going to. Sarkisian had to stop them from bringing the flag out there. He said, "I stopped that."
Yep, because it's completely. Guess what? You play these guys every single year. It's completely disrespectful. Don't do that nonsense. You beat them on play whistle, play with your shoulder pads. That's how you play the game of football. This nonsense is what losers do. This is where it's like, go ahead, Grump.
Can I tell you what's going to happen? The NCAA is going to say, you do that shit. There's going to be a penalty. You won't be allowed to do it. You forfeit the game. You forfeit your season. That's how you stop it. You make it so severe that the coaches say, don't do any dumb shit. That's the way they don't let the children get out of hand, because that's what you have to do. You have to treat them like children. If you're going to act like a child, I'm going to treat you like a child.
Here's another one.
They all did it. It was just.
And look at this. It just immediately causes their fighting and it causes their conflict.
That's right.
Why? It just causes things to get out of hand.
That's
look
right.
At that. Again, the adults are like, hey, you idiot. You may only be here for a year more or 2 years, but guess what? The legacy, we have to play this team every single year for the foreseeable future. And you doing dumb stuff like this, all it's going to do is ramp up the rivalry where, hey, if we're playing maybe a 5-6 Michigan team or whatever their record was going into this year, they've got a little extra juice going into the game. It's just dumb. I'm doing that.
Maybe next year, you know what? I remember that guy. I'm going to late hit him. I'm going to really lay him out.
Look at this. The fans, all this. It's just, honestly, it's absolutely absurd. South Carolina's doing the same stuff. Now, these are the fans, not the players. But guess what, guys? Act like you're adults. My God, act like you're an adult. Just stop this nonsense.
This is a grown-ass man. That guy should have beat it. I see a guy with a belt there. He should have beat the old man with the damn belt. Here's the thing. You're too old to be that fucking dumb. I'm sorry. Get your head out of your ass, people.
Yeah, again,
the
like
showboating. The showboating. Just stop it. Just stop all of it. No more spikes. No more nothing. No more celebrating. None of this running to the. We intercept the ball in the NFL. Everyone runs down to the far. Ooh, look at me. The whole group gets down. They rowboats rolling over the top. Just stop. You know what? If your team was better, You wouldn't have time if you worked hard enough during practice, during the season. Maybe you wouldn't have time to have choreographed rollover drills and rowboating drills. You got too much damn time on your hands, losers.
I'll let you get the last word, X.
There is no
X think
words.
it's great.
There-
X think it's
there-
great.
There is no words. You know, play better on the field. That shit won't happen in your home stadium. That's all I have to say. Play better. Don't bitch. Play better. Play
What do you
better and
think
win
about
the
this?
game. You show more fight at the end of the game than you did during the game. Tough. Sorry.
Okay, the majority of the guys who are fighting are the majority of guys who are bench warmers.
Hell, that Sawyer guy would manage to break a block to get out there to go stop the guys from planting the flag. He fucking sure as shit couldn't do that during the game, though.
He was
Guys
getting
were
held
crazy.
back. He wasn't the guy mixing it in. He was the guy getting held
They're
back. By
playing they're playing the flag again. They're playing the fucking flag again.
You didn't see him mixing it up. The guys who were doing
He
the mixing
obviously went in there to go stop it.
he didn't. A guy held him back. What are you smoking?
Oh my god.
The guys who are mixing it up
Are usually probably guys who made interceptions against Harding High School. Those are the type of guys.
the majority of the guys who are mixing it up
Play
actually,
better during the game, and then you won't get a flag planted at your home field.
Okay, I
It's
just think
that
there
easy.
should be-
Play
think
better
there's-
and win the game.
I think there should be a little bit of sportsmanship shown on both
There
sides.
is no sportsmanship. Every time a player scores a touchdown, they celebrate. There is no sportsmanship. So what the hell is the difference if they do it after the game when they do it during
Penalize
the
the
game?
children. And
But you know what? Every time any team celebrates or does anything, they should just hand the ball off like a robot every single time.
Okay, X,
No
would you say-
celebrations,
okay,
nothing.
can I-
I
can-
want zero
would you
zero
say-
done then.
Would you say when police have to be called in and use pepper spray on the
Why
team?
didn't they pepper spray Myles Garrett when he hit Mason Rudolph in the head with his helmet?
Okay,
That happened during the game, not even after the game.
okay.
X, completely different.
You're so
No, it's the same
irrational.
exact thing.
It's hard to- You're so
It's the
insane.
same
about
thing.
this.
It's the same exact thing. It's a
Not
fight.
the same exact
It's a
thing.
fight that's happening. They have to treat it like assault. Is what they do. It would be like if me and you went out in the streets and started fighting someone. Guess what? We get pepper sprayed too by police. I promise you that it would happen.
First of all, you're too chicken to get into a situation like that, and I'm too smart.
Oh my God. Well, again, play better during the game. Then you won't have flags and stuff planted in the middle of your field. Win the game. You don't have to worry about it.
Alrighty, move
There you
on.
go.
We've hit
Problem
enough of
solved.
this. That was it. I just
So
want.
it's about winning the game, right?
Yeah.
I want X.
Guess what? If they would have won the game, there would be no flag planted in the middle of the field.
Okay.
All right,
That's
let's get through some comments. Let's get through some comments here, X. We'll move along from this obviously topic here. Okay, Alex Monroe.
This is Alex Monroe. It's beginning to look a slot like Christmas.
After Arnie's
covered
slot.
all of Europe, and we will never stop. From Paris on to Turkey, we've won the effing lot. The fields of Anfield Road. We are the supporters. We come from Liverpool. Is that a song that they have?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
They create those as opposed to creating UCL titles.
Liverpool's. I think Liverpool's played really well this year.
I think just in general, and again, we won't talk too much soccer, but I think the Premier League's down. I've mentioned before. I thought Pep at the beginning of the season, no shot there repeating again this year. You could see from game one they just didn't have it, and that's what happens when you don't fill with young guys. A whole bunch of old players start to litter the roster. They get all old at once, and it's like, wow, what happened to Manchester City? Why are they not the best team anymore? Well, it's funny when you get old all at once, you start to see that the talent drops off, and you start to see guys can't run anymore. They can't keep the same pace, the same ability to play long term. So that's the problem.
And particularly that type of style is very taxing.
Here you go.
Freedom Fund Rec says, TJ, contract Jeremy's razors so X can stop looking homeless.
Jeremy's razors, I guess, so we can get you a razor. X, I can get you that for Christmas if you'd like.
There we go.
He says, let's start off the show with dumb coaching decisions that cost their teams games. Raheem Morris, you are today's low
Cal. What did Raheem Morris do?
I don't know what they did. I was putting up the Christmas tree today, so I was just had the Red Zone channel on. I know they threw an interception late. They needed a touchdown though. They needed a touchdown. But here's the thing: I do want to talk about Indianapolis tied the game with 12 seconds to go against New England. They were 7 points down. They scored a touchdown, and what does the coach do? He goes for a 2-point conversion. I'm just like, I don't understand it. Now, they did convert and won the game. But what should you do in a situation? TJ, what would Andy Reid do in a situation like that?
Say it again, Grumpy. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find this.
the Indianapolis Colts were down to New England Patriots 24-17, and they scored a touchdown with 12 seconds left to go. And he sends out for a 2-point conversion. Now, they converted the 2-point conversion on a Anthony Richardson scramble up the middle.
Okay.
What would Andy Reid have done in that situation?
Extra point. Just take the extra point.
The extra point.
Yeah.
You were looking for a flag.
You try to extend the what would Andy Reid do?
You would have asked for a flag.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That's good. I like
Oh,
that.
sorry, that's Patrick Mahomes. My fault.
He does that too. Oh man.
But it's just how dumb is that?
The issue is Raheem Morris on Kyle Pitts. He only put Kyle Pitts, who's had a good bounce back year. He only put him in on 40% of the snaps today. And then he said, regarding why he didn't get many touches, he said, we've got so many guys that we got to get the ball to. Sometimes those days happen. I'd like to see Kyle get more production. I would like to see him have more opportunities. And whether that's us getting it to him or him doing a better job, we'll figure those things out as we go.
Yeah. Okay.
He's
what?
On.
What's the underlying meaning there, TJ? Tell us.
We don't like what he's doing. That's why he's not playing a lot.
There you go. In a nutshell. Play better. Play better.
They asked him if they'd bench Kirk Cousins. He said, "No, he's got us in a playoff position. We're not gonna bench him." Oh my gosh!
4 interceptions today.
We've got to make better. We've got to make better decisions. I'm not going to throw Kirk Cousins under the bus.
There was one pick that he threw. Literally, they're like, I want to say at the 5-yard line, 7-yard line. I'm like, dude, just throw the ball away if nobody's open. Kick a field goal.
I do want to go ahead and finish up the rest of our college football here before we start moving on through the rest of these comments, because the big thing was like, you see a lot of these, like the flag planting was just ridiculous and it caused a lot of the fights. There's going to have to be something that's done about that. The other one is this. Now, Kyle McCord, he was the quarterback last year from Ohio State. He now plays for Syracuse. This is him in his post-game conference. I'll let you listen to it after Syracuse won. And they beat Miami. So they're feeling themselves. The Syracuse head coach said, "Hey, Dabo Sweeney, you're welcome for getting the ACC championship game." Okay, it just sounded really fucking douchey, first off. And second off, guess what? You want to start making a lot of enemies. People are like, fuck this guy. And you're going to get a lot more of that. Again, you're going to get a lot more of that from Miami. Guess what? Miami plays Syracuse every single year. You don't think Miami's going to be like, we need to skull these guys, because the way they acted and what happened to us and how they treated that at the end of the game. You know what? I'm telling you something. What comes around goes around. Simple as that. Syracuse football's back, baby. All this other stuff like that. I'm like, Syracuse football hasn't. Anyway, just dumb. It's really dumb, and they're going to pay for that in the future. I'm going to let you know they pay for that. So this is what happened. This is Kyle McCord at the end in the little post-game presser.
Does it give you any extra satisfaction knowing that the same day you outtold Cam Ward beat Miami with this team, that Ohio State scored 10 points and lost to Michigan?
Everything comes full circle.
Everything comes full circle. So they're kind of just joking around there. It's like, what's
Syracuse's record?
Syracuse is like 7 wins.
Okay.
And again, the Kyle McCord guy threw 5 picks against Pittsburgh and got absolutely lit up. Again, like, it's just
good. They look good against Miami.
Miami's not good. We've discussed that. We knew that all season long. So I wasn't really concerned too much with that. So college football wise, odd. Now, the other one that's getting a lot of attention is the Heisman race. The Heisman. We'll talk about that here as briefly as we can. I'll first ask you guys, who do you have as winning the Heisman?
Can I go first?
Yes.
Go ahead.
In my opinion, I think who's going to win it is not the player who deserves it. I think that Travis Hunter is going to win it, but Ashton Genty absolutely deserves the Heisman.
What about you, Grumpy?
I think if you're on the verge of breaking the all-time rushing record in today's college football, how do you not win the Heisman? It's all a passing game. This kid, I think, is like 300 yards or something like that away from. I'm sorry.
Here are the numbers, by the way. Just put them up on screen.
Yeah, he's like 300 yards away from breaking the all-time rushing mark in college football.
Yep.
How does that in today's football? How does a player like that not win the Heisman Trophy?
I don't know, because it's all the hype. Yeah, the all-time rushing record is 2,628 yards. He is 400, little less than like 380 yards. Now he still has the conference championship and any sort of bowl game, or if they win, they'll be playing in the college football playoffs. So that's potentially a few more games that they could play. And he only needs 300 some odd yards. He's got UNLV up next. I mean, like, let's assume he's putting up another 150 or 200 yards. That's like 100 yards is all he needs left for the next game.
He has 29 touchdowns.
Think about that.
He had 3 of those touchdowns and 200 yards against Oregon, the number 1 team in the country as well.
That they lost to, barely lost to.
By a field goal. They lost by a field goal. Yep.
I mean, how does that kid? Here's the thing: if he was playing for
Alabama
or any of the big conference schools,
he'd be unanimous.
Yep. He'd be an absolute shoo-in.
How about this? Derrick Henry, and again, like SEC is a little bit harder than the Mountain West. I'm not denying that. But when you look at the numbers, right, that was 2 more games played for Derrick Henry, the more rushing yards for Genty, more rushing touchdowns. And again, this is not including the most recent game, more yards per game, more yards per carry. I just don't understand how the Genty kid won't win. He's
going to blow his numbers. The hype train for the Colorado kid is just, dude, you're a wide receiver.
And here are some numbers for Genty. He's number 1 in the rushing attempts, number 1 in the nation rushing yards, number 3 in the nation in rushing yards per attempt, number 1 in yards for scrimmage, rushing touchdowns, touchdowns from scrimmage, total touchdowns, total points, and Boise State's offense is 4th in the nation. Travis Hunter is number 6 in reception, 14 in receiving yards, 14 yards per game. Receiving yards per game, not in the top 100. Receiving touchdowns, number 8. Interceptions on defense, 28th, tied for 28th. Pass defended, tied for 23. Teams total defense 53rd, teams total offense 56. I'm sorry, it's special what you did, Travis Hunter, but it's not as special as what Genty did this year. Sorry.
I don't. There's no way that the Hunter kid should win. No,
he will win though because it's that Deion Sanders effect.
No, it's the hype. That's all. That's the only reason he's going to win.
It's the only reason because of Deion.
And he's out there saying, "Well, don't hate me. He's the best player." I'm like,
he's not.
Stop. The other kid just had a better year. Okay, there's nothing wrong to say that. The Hunter kid might be a better pro, but it's not for what you can become. It's for what you've done this year.
Yep. That's all it is.
He's gonna have the most rushing yards ever in a season in an era where it's all about throwing the ball.
Yep.
He is Boise State's offense, by the way.
Yeah.
Really quickly here, I'll put this up on screen so we could take one quick look at that.
Can I just say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Bad news, Bake Nation, the best quarterback to ever play behind Brady, did just get injured. So.
Oh, well, too bad, Big Nation. Oregon, number 1, Texas, number 2, Penn State, number 3, Notre Dame, number 4, Georgia, number 5. So Georgia and Texas are facing off again. You've got here Tennessee, number 6, Ohio State, number 7, so they'll still make it in. SMU, number 8, Indiana will be playing Penn State in the conference finals. Let me ask you this.
They are not playing. It's going to be Penn State against Oregon in the conference.
Yep. I'm sorry, Penn State. Oh, my mistake.
Because they have 2 conference losses, Ohio State.
Okay, Indiana only has 1. I guess Penn State only has 1 too. Okay, fair enough. Penn State against Oregon. Gotcha. So you're going to have 4 Big Ten teams, I guess, make it in, is what this looks like.
Yep.
I
predicted. You got to win. Got to win the games. Got to win the games.
Yeah, they don't play anybody.
Got to win the games. Got to win the games. Right?
The Charlotte's off schedule. Simple as that. Boise State will make it in once they take care of business against UNLV. Alabama is going to make it in at number 11. They're not playing in the conference championship, so they can't go down. Arizona State will probably make it in. USC, they're going to make it in.
BYU is going to make it. This is where it gets a little janky. BYU is going to be a conference champion. They will. This is just the AP poll, by the way. It's not.
Well, don't they play Arizona State?
Yes.
So Arizona State could be BYU, and then nothing changes.
No, Arizona State plays Iowa State, I believe.
Well, then BYU is not going to be a conference champion.
BYU plays somebody else.
BYU plays. No, they don't. They don't play in the conference championship.
No, because they're in the same conference, I think, as Iowa State and Arizona State, aren't they?
Yep. Yeah. They lost there.
They're not making it in.
And they play Iowa State.
Okay. But again, this is not what the FCP.
This is not the CFP Bowl. This is just the rankings here as of current as to where they are right now. Clemson is one of those tweeners where if Clemson beats SMU,
if they beat SMU, they will make it in because they won their conference. What
makes me wonder is I'm like, okay, does SMU drop out if they lose?
With
right? SMU
two losses, yeah.
They lost to BYU and potentially Clemson. Does that force them out of the picture? I don't see any way that Miami can slither the way into the postseason.
How is it that Alabama is over
Clemson?
No.
Or Carolina?
Money.
South Carolina.
Because of head-to-head.
Okay.
Money too, Grumpy. I'll tell you that much. Again, like Alabama, South Carolina has played a tougher schedule than Bama has, in my opinion. Both played in the SEC, but South Carolina's had a tougher schedule. I don't think South Carolina's that good. The Sellers kid found a few ways to extend plays and win that against Clemson.
You're wrong. They've been really good down the stretch.
Their quarterback is a really good runner. Really good runner.
Shitty quarterback.
That's what he's really good at doing.
Yep. Yeah. So again, we'll pop that up there. There's one more item I think I wanted to bring up for college football, man. A lot of college football.
You should bring up that punch that I sent you.
Okay, I'll put that up on screen.
Bring up some of the memes that I sent you.
Okay, did you send it to me via text or how'd you do that?
Text message.
Okay, I'll look through it. Give me a sec. Go ahead and start getting through comments.
Drew says it almost happened with Jim Harbaugh on that fake punt that failed. Well, the Harbaughs are always doing dumb shit. Over and over and over again. They make dumb decisions that cost their teams games. That lunkhead in Detroit, I'm going to tell you, he's going to wind up costing the Lions. Would it shock me if it was in the Super Bowl? It would not.
Here it is. Boom. Again, that's one. You can't do stuff like that. There should be a suspension for that.
Ejection.
Can't punch a guy in the face. Ejection, suspension. Can't punch a guy in the face, especially after the play's over or after a guy's down like that. I mean, that's just classless behavior. Simple.
Yeah, I will say the one thing you do not see in that video, because it's just a brief snippet, the USC guy was absolutely twisting his ankle during that play. Like Ndamukong Suh used to do, where, he'd be under somebody and be trying to roll their leg up and break it.
Again, you're seeing a lot of this where officials just happen to miss it. Watch this one here. Here's another one too, or X and Grumpy. This is again in the Iron Bowl. Think about it. 3-loss Alabama is going to slither in. Yikes. Look at this.
Very good.
Oop, he punched him right in the face like that.
Yep.
Boom. That's it. Throw him out of the game. But I don't do stuff like that.
Well, see, here's the thing. To me, Alabama should not get. They got shit canned by Oklahoma last week.
I think in my opinion, USC should make it in, but the only reason Alabama's making it is head-to-head. That's it. They also lost teams, and Alabama beat Carolina.
Would you rather see somebody going against Alabama or somebody going against South Carolina?
South Carolina.
Okay. The normal people who
I'd rather see South Carolina.
Football, who are they? Alabama. Yeah, they're always good. South Carolina. Who the hell are they? That's what most people think.
We can get a rematch, South Carolina against Clemson, possibly if Clemson win ACC.
All right, let's get back to some more comments here. Tony.
TJ looks like he smells like hummus tonight.
Well, thank you. Here you go.
Knock some sense into your boys about how bad Man City misses Rodri. They can't seem to understand. City lost 6 of their last 7 and drew Feyenoord. Pep went with defensive tactics on the road today. I'm going to disagree with you on that, Alex. I don't think Rodri is making much. They can't score. That's the issue, is they can't score. I'm not saying that Rodri doesn't mean anything to them, but they're a team, even last year, you could tell they were on the downside. And this year, they've been, even in the preseason, they're just not very good. They've gotten, as TJ mentioned, they've gotten old. They haven't refreshed the roster. I'm surprised Pep Guardiola signed on to stay, to be honest.
In the last 5 years, the net spending for Man City is lower than Arsenal, Liverpool, West Ham. It was lower than Aston Villa. It's not. They haven't spent a lot in the last 5 years, and it's shown. They did majority of their spending on the front end, and they haven't recently because of the financial fair play.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're getting cut open any differently on the back end than they always have. But the whole thing is when you're scoring 2, 3, 4 goals a game right at the jump, you can just lay back and play defense.
They're not controlling the ball all game like they have in years past too, because they're not talented enough in the midfield and up top.
They're older. They're older, and a lot of guys got old at the same time.
And here's one thing as well. I'll just say this in there. Phil Foden, who is the best player, won the best player for Manchester City last year, award for their team, has been absolutely the worst player on their team this year.
Which didn't play any preseason. He took the time away from the
he's been the worst player on their team.
again, the team struggled just across the board. Al also says South Carolina deserves to make it in, but they lost a head-to-head with Alabama. I think South Carolina is still going to make it in. Freedom Fund Adventure says here, you hear that crappy coach Norvell crying about the Gators planning to fly. Okay, I didn't even know they did the same thing for Florida. What a loser. He let his teams cut turf out of the other team's field. And when he asked, he has stated, it's not my problem. No sissies. Shouldn't do stuff like that.
Now, the Florida head coach said that is unacceptable what they did. Good for him, Napier. Good for him.
They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do that across the board. Anything. Al, Grumpy.
Let's talk about how great of a game Ewers had last night. Texas may have the best defense, O-line, weapons like Helm, Bond, Golden in the country. Good running back tandem with Blue and Wisner as well. I mean, they're good. Do they know how to win a big game? We're going to find out this week. And I'll tell you what, Georgia absolutely did not deserve to beat Georgia Tech.
No.
That was the best team did not win that game. Those rivalry games are always tough. That's what I tell X. Whoa, this is going to happen. I'm like, dude, rivalry games are special. Teams play their hardest in that. That's why you see a lot.
How Georgia Tech found a way to lose, by the way. I mean, because they found a way to lose. They're up 14 points with like 3 minutes left, and they just found a way to lose.
Fumbles.
The guy
fumbles is how they lost.
That quarterback gave his all.
I'll tell you one thing.
He runs hard, too. He runs hard.
It should have been penalized, and the guy should have been tossed for targeting. Because look at this right here. Again, you can't hit helmet to helmet, crown of your head. Look what he does with the crown of his helmet. Lowers the crown of his helmet like that. That's textbook targeting. You can't lower the crown of your helmet and launch through. Can't do that. And again, you go ahead and do that, it knocks the ball out, but that is absolutely against the rules. Again, some teams get called for that, some teams don't. Georgia clearly doesn't. They're the big team like that. But look at this. Lowers the crown of his helmet and hits right through the face mask. That's a penalty every single day of the week. If that's Georgia Tech doing that to Georgia, I think there's a flag on that 8 days of the week and twice on Sunday.
It's tough to call those in the hole targeting, though.
That's what you got the back judge for, who's looking to see is somebody lowering his helmet like that. I mean, because that's what that is, right? He's hitting with the crown of his helmet, launching through the crown of the guy's helmet. Can't do that. Anyway, go ahead. I just thought that was a very clear miss.
Alex Monroe says UNC should let Mac Brown coach the bowl game. In my mind, candidates to replace him could be Kenny Dillingham, and doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Sorry, Alex, that doesn't matter. The flag banning will be flag planting will be banned by the NCAA next year. I 100% agree. It's a bad look for college football, sports in general. Freedom Fund Adventure says you got to give it to Holmstrom and Lee for their improved play. Definitely a rift between Lou and Wah. Fire Lou. Yes, we talked about that all last night. Drew says, unfortunately, Bake Nation hasn't played well today.
He has not. I agree. But he's still Bake Nation, so he's still a legend.
The Carolina Panthers have really improved down the stretch. Would you not say?
They have played well down the stretch. Gave Kansas City a run for their money.
Should have beat Kansas City.
They should have beat Kansas City. I agree.
Well, let's take a look here. Oh, go ahead. Finish this, and we'll jump to Kansas City.
His performance might give the Panthers a chance at the playoffs.
That's a stretch.
Oh, man. So I'm not sure. Did you guys happen to see Kansas City's recent referee bailout? I mean, it's not as bad as it got.
Yes.
Now, I'll let you watch it. I'm not sure if Grumpy had a chance to see it. It just always. I'll let you watch it just to set the scene. The Kansas City Chiefs are up by 2 points, 3rd and 3, 15 seconds left on the clock there for the Raiders. The Raiders. They're in field goal range. Let me pull up exactly where they are on the field. They're at the 30-ish yard line, 31st yard line. I'll let you watch, and we'll get your opinion on here.
Yard field goal from here. Drops it. Flag is thrown though. Flag will stop it.
So explain this to me here. They called this illegal formation. We allowed the fumble to stand. Look at the guy who's running on. That is absolutely, we're blowing the play dead going on, and this is our full start motion, right? He steps out on the field before the play finishes. That is indicating it's a dead play. That is indicating it's a full start. How on God's green earth with this clay?
Nobody's even picked the ball up, and he's already out there.
Yep, it was declared as a full start. He runs onto the field. The ball is still in play. That is signaling the play is stopped. The side judge leaves the side of the field to join the play. It is a dead play. It's a dead ball. So that's why I'm like, I don't know how they called this. Oh, illegal formation. We're going to allow the fumble to stand. How the fuck is that allowed?
To me, I didn't think it was a penalty at all. The guy wasn't ready for the snap. It hits him.
Nobody's set. Nobody's set, and everybody's moving around. It's a false start
We can't
penalty.
see it. It's typical Amazon nonsense because they couldn't give us the angle. They couldn't give us the angle to see everything at once.
How bad is Amazon?
Look at the tight end. Look at the tight end who's not even set. Look at the tight end who's still going down to get in position. He's not set. It's a full start. And that's why they jump immediately on. He enters the field. It's a full start penalty.
Okay. Do you really think the Raiders are going to win that game?
Yes,
I think it's a field goal at the end. I don't know.
That field goal kicker had missed 3 kicks.
Dan Carlson. Yeah, Daniel Carlson. Yes, he did. He missed a lot of kicks.
He had a chance to put them up earlier. The drive before, and he couldn't even reach the end zone. He was never making the kick. Didn't matter.
Okay, go ahead though. You were going to make a larger point, Grumpy.
Yeah. Kansas City's not winning anything this year.
Kansas City sucks.
They don't suck. They know how to win games, and the league wants them to do well. They're not going to beat a good team.
The league is absolutely helping them out. Grumpy, how do you disagree that this should be blown as a full start? The referee came on the field. The side judge came on the field blowing the play dead before the play was finished, indicating it's a dead ball foul.
The problem was
pre-snap
fouls. All huddled up forever and then come away with that call.
They said, how do we help the Chiefs win the game? That's what this is, Grumpy. This guy came on the field. The only way the side judge is allowed to come on the field before the play is over is if the play is blown dead. That's why he's coming on the field. What do you think, Grumpy? This guy just said, I'm just going to do my own shit. I'm just going to go ahead and start running on the field.
Waving his hands that the play is over.
That's correct, before it starts.
But the whole thing
hold on.
He's doing false start. He's actually calling false start.
How do they get away with that? How do they get away with that? Because
Goodell made a call down to the field.
All the signals tell me, came on the field from the side before the play was over. That means the play is blown dead. Play didn't take place.
Pre-snap. He threw the flag.
And immediately rushed on the field to stop the play.
He did the false start call.
Yes.
And then they all huddled up. Whenever the guys huddle up, somebody's getting screwed.
It's because they have the earpiece in and they're told exactly what to do. They're just puppets for the league. I've been saying all along.
You know what I like how they have now, and they talk about it every week? Oh, they have the quick review, and they get the call down. So the officials aren't doing anything.
Thank you very much. It's all manufactured by the league. They don't know how to call a penalty. They don't know how to do anything. It's all a construct of the league.
That being said, the Raiders couldn't execute at the end of the game.
Okay. I don't disagree. They didn't. The Raiders played very poorly.
You still got to give them an opportunity.
They found a way to lose. But again, what have we noticed? When the game is on the line,
Kansas City gets a lot of calls.
When the game is on, it's not the amount of calls they get through the entirety of the game. It's when the game is on the line and there's a chance for the other team to score and to win. It's always that a call happens to get blown to give them the game and give them back possession or to extend a drive or to end a drive, just like this one. It's always the call right at the end to say, how do we help the big money maker, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs that we all love to drool over? Oh, this is how we could do it. That's what they do all the time.
And here's the thing. You've never seen it before. You're seeing it now.
Always.
And it's when everyone's talking about it.
Everybody's upset about it.
That's a problem for the league.
Yeah.
That's a problem for the league. But the Chiefs are not good enough. They're not good enough.
If they keep getting things like this, I'm not sure.
They will make it to the Super Bowl again this year because they will be forced through.
Okay. They're not good enough.
It's like WWE. Remember how you hated John Cena? Everybody hated John Cena. They just rammed him down your throat. You're seeing the same shit happen with the NFL and the Chiefs.
Okay, they're not.
Vince McMahon might as well be in charge.
Here's a compilation of the close near games that allowed them essentially to win. Now that was out of bounds.
Yeah,
no problem with that. Out of bounds, that's a win. Out of bounds by about a toenail, but he's out of bounds. Simple as that.
That was opening day. This one here is just wrong.
Again, you saw it didn't get called when it benefited the Bengals the last week.
That was a fourth down play too.
Yep, fourth down. And here's the other one, right? This is another one where contact happens before the ball's there. That should be called pass interference because that's the same thing that happened the week before.
That gets him first down at the 1.
Yep. I don't know how. Again, he makes contact before the ball gets there. No call.
That's pass interference.
I don't know how that's not called. That's as clean as day. right? That's another one of those calls that happened to benefit them. Now, this is one that happened right there in overtime. There's no like bad call here, but again, a nice close victory over against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are an average team at this point, but a lot of close wins right at the end of the game against average to below average teams. It's just like, ooh, that's not good. You get the block kick, like again, like lack of execution by the miserable.
Okay, that's a penalty because they went right over the top of the center on that.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
They went right over the top of the center. That is illegal. They went right over the top of the center. You can't do that. That's a penalty. You cannot do it. Went right over the top of the center.
No,
You're not allowed to touch the center.
It was a different one. It was a different one. It was not this one. This is not the one. They did that a different week, though. They jumped over the center. They bulldozed the center to block a kick, too. But again, this is a different one. But again, stop the kick right there at the end. They get a win. But again, the Broncos are not a good squad. And they're fine. Again, like
here's the thing. At the end of the day, here's the problem.
They'll get killed by the Bills. Killed by the Bills.
They already got trounced by the Bills. They are not trending in the right direction the way that they're playing. Their margin of error is getting smaller and smaller and smaller every single week.
They're winning by 1 point or 2 points every single game.
It's not good teams.
Happened the same thing against. Think about it. They had like a game-winning field goal right against the end, and this is not everything against the Carolina Panthers. And now we played the 2-9 Raiders, and we barely come off with a win at the very end because of some questionable calls. Just like, okay.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying the Chiefs suck, but
they're great. They're great.
They're not close to being as good as teams like Detroit,
yes,
Buffalo, Baltimore, Philadelphia. Those are the top teams in the league. I don't know if Kansas City's played the Chargers yet.
Yes, they have.
Okay, they have, and that I know they beat them, but that was a close game. They're going to struggle against them next time. That's the type of team that's going to give them problems. They can run the ball, even though J.K. Dobbins went on IR this week. They can run the ball, and they play really solid defense. The problem with the Kansas City, their offensive line has not been great this year, and Patrick Mahomes has been pedestrian at best.
Well, the first time they played, they only gave J.K. Dobbins the ball 14 times. They had 32 yards rushing. They didn't rush the ball very well against them the first time around, but it was a 17-10, 10 defensive battle. Yeah. But
that's right. That was the game that Rashid Rice went out and killed my fantasy season. I remember that.
Yeah, there you go, Grumpy. Now, it's important to note here, Cliff Kingsbury is listed as the top candidate to be the Bears' next head coach. Oh, what happened? Oh, goodness. The Bears head coach, Matt Eberflus, was canned. Thanksgiving Day, they had the game. The Bears were driving down the field and having a chance there to go ahead and beat. I'm trying to pull up here the clip. They had a chance to go ahead and try to beat the Lions. Now, just to play before, they had, I don't remember what it was, illegal hands to the face, the Bears offensive lineman. They scored a touchdown, or they put them in range where they're very close. They just had a little chippy field goal to tie the game up, but there's illegal hands to the face. So they had to redo the down. It was 2nd and 20. I want you to watch this clip, and I want your takes on it.
No one touched him.
33 seconds to go.
Bruce Williams.
You got a timeout. You got a timeout.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it doesn't show me the whole clip. Son of a gun. Sorry. I'll try to go ahead and find a whole clip there on this one, but it's not as bad as it gets.
Yeah, it was poor clock management. His thing, it's not just the Eberflus is go. Caleb Williams is clueless out there.
Call timeout.
He's clueless.
If your quarterback is clueless, call yourself a timeout.
Yep. And then all you needed was to get 5 or 6 yards for a field goal attempt, and they throw a bomb. I don't get it. It was dumb.
Yeah, good.
Alsbro says, who we got next weekend in the conference title games? Oregon is a shoe-in. Don't say teams are shoe-ins. Anything can happen. SMU versus Clemson and Texas, Georgia are toss-ups. Never know which Georgia team will show up when Penn State loses to Oregon. Do they still get in? They're getting in. They're absolutely getting in. They're third in the country, and you're in your conference championship game. That should not be a penalty. They will get in.
Yeah, I got probably, I want to say.
And Texas did Texas learn anything from playing Georgia early in the season?
I think that same Georgia team that came out against Georgia Tech comes out against Texas, they will lose. Georgia will lose because they looked horrible in the first half of that game. Guys dropping wide open passes. They looked terrible. Nobody covered on defense. Nobody doing anything. I mean, you would have thought that Georgia Tech had Justin Jefferson playing every wideout position for their team with how much space and separation they had with the Georgia secondary in the first half of that game. It was bad.
I think SMU will beat Clemson. I don't think Clemson's very good.
I don't know. I think Clemson can maybe beat SMU. I think they might beat SMU. Who have SMU beat?
SMU. Okay, SMU's good. You haven't watched any
Clemson
SMU
had a close game against a good South Carolina team. That's all I'm
Okay,
going to say.
who's Clemson beat was my question. I don't care who you lose to. Who have you beaten?
They beat Pittsburgh. That's a pretty tough squad.
Pittsburgh's lost 5 in a row down the stretch.
Yeah. The quarterback got out, so I mean it hurts.
They lost 5 in a row.
Yeah,
If Clemson
SMU
loses, they're not making it in. They have to win to get in.
Yeah, Clemson has to win. I think SMU, even if they lose, they still probably deserve the bid.
SMU's going to win. Clemson will be out. That's what's going to wind up happening.
I think that's probably the likely scenario. I think SMU's the better team. SMU's good. They could run the ball. They could defense stifles. And again, Clemson, if the kid isn't rushing, Cade Klubnik isn't rushing the ball all over the place, he's not doing anything for them. Simple.
I'm going to say, man, it's going to be a great college football game, college football Saturday next week.
Oh, yeah. This one was good, too.
Yeah.
Well, I think next week will be better.
Yeah, you'll have better matchups, but
next. Drew says, let's just say Trevor Lawrence got his bell rung a bit today.
We'll show that too, because I have some comments on that.
It was a cheap shot. I agree.
Here's the rest of the clip. Still with 26 seconds left. Let's watch Caleb Williams as he tries to get the team in formation here.
Well, this
Like,
spike the ball.
They have a light box.
Well, it's 3rd and 26. Do you want to spike the ball there?
I mean, you're still in field goal range, right?
No,
maybe not. Took a sack.
You need to call your timeout there.
Look at this.
Look at the sideline. Look at the sideline. They're all jumping. Go, go, go. Snap it, snap it, snap it. He's clueless.
Okay, let's see if we can stay quiet to listen to them commenting on it. So it's pretty bad when your telecasters are saying this, but let's listen here.
This is like the light box. You could have gotten numbers, but just didn't.
You better hurry.
No.
Oh, this is disaster in the making here. You're going to have to do something when it comes down to this play. Incomplete, and the game is over. Completely botched at the end by the Bears.
I can't believe they didn't take a timeout.
I'm sorry, I'll let you comment on Grumpy. But you know it's bad when they're over there like, oh my God, this is just a disaster.
This is a catastrophe waiting to happen.
I love that when I saw the replay.
But here's the best thing. You know that a hammerhead Campbell was trying to find a way to lose that game. Didn't he go for it a couple of times when he shouldn't have, and they wound up not scoring? Take the points, Take the points, Tank McNamara, you dumb bastard. Take the points. Alex says Ohio State will beat Penn State. Oregon wins a title. I don't think Oregon's that good. Is it wrong for me to say that? No, I think they've been better the second half when they've had Gabriel starting to run the ball a little bit. But I think they're a beatable team. Indiana only has one loss. They're making it. Not sure that Penn State wins this argument against Bama. That's bullshit. Penn State is going to make the Final 12.
Yes, they're going to make it. If their only losses are to Ohio State and Oregon, they're going to make it, and they deserve to make it. I don't think
Alabama has 3 losses. South Carolina has 3 losses. SMU will have 2 losses. SMU is going to get in. Georgia, if they lose, that'll be 3 losses for Georgia too.
They're still going to make
it in.
Georgia's still going to make it in.
Okay.
So
so a 3-loss team will make it in.
There's going to be 2 3-loss teams, I think, that make it in. Here it is. This is the hit that happened. This knocked out Trevor Lawrence cold. I'll let you watch it, and I'll have your reaction as what you think should happen.
Represents so many special people.
Oh, there's no doubt that Trevor represents them. Oh my, that'll be Al Shire, who's flagged for the big hit on the slide, and that's going to start a little bit of a scrum afterwards as the Jaguars come in to protect their QB.
The kid who hit him should be suspended for the rest of the year.
I think he should. Yeah, exactly. And let's say it was a beating. It's honestly, it has to be so severe because that is just one of those where it's like he's obviously sliding.
Then he throws it.
This deserves an ejection.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, really bold statement there, buddy. This is an ejection. Okay.
here's my thing. Hit pause for a second.
Go ahead. You can talk through it.
How do you not go at CJ Stroud after this if you're the Jaguars?
It's easier
Your
said than
season's
done.
over. Your season's over, so who gives a shit?
And again, we'll put
No
it in slow
problem.
motion. He's obviously giving himself up sliding
Yeah.
well in advance. And that's the thing. He's starting to slide here. There's about 5 yards.
But he throws an elbow at him. When they showed the other, he threw an elbow at him.
You could see the elbows extended to hit him right in the face.
He absolutely went to hurt him. He absolutely did.
It should be again, 6-game suspension, the maximum fine you could get. It has to be things like that.
Yep.
If you're going to take hits like that on quarterbacks when they're sliding, right? I get it if they pretend to slide and they don't, hammer the living shit out of them. But if you're sliding like that and you have that much space, 6-game suspension, the maximum amount we could fine you. That's it. Tua Lawrence. Oh God, he's had a lot of injuries, and that's for certain. Trevor Tagovailoa.
I just had those ones up there. That was funny.
That's a good one there.
Ohio State can find $100,000 each for after the game shenanigans. You know what?
They don't care.
You know what? Both teams lose that game. And here's the thing. Sorry, Ohio State, you're out. You're out. You don't get to play in a bowl game. So you don't get to play. That's how you stop it. Sorry.
Now, I did happen to see some very creative offensive line play here this week, so that was always fun. Anytime I get to see this, I want your opinion on this one, guys.
Oh, geez. Isn't that a block in the back?
Oh, my God. Again, there was no call on this one.
See, how is that not a call? How is that not a call?
I don't know what they're looking at.
Because all hail Patrick Mahomes, our Lord and Savior.
It was Max Crosby, or I think it's Max Crosby. I don't know. It's not Max Crosby. But again, obviously from behind like that, boom, you could see him.
Aren't you not allowed to hit a guy when they're engaged with somebody else?
No, you can hit him as long as it's in the front, but you can't like high low him. But you can't hit him from behind when he's engaged with somebody else.
Anytime you want, any day, every day.
Yeah. Again, like I just saw stuff like that and just like, ew. Okay. Officials just do official things. They just miss calls left and right. Simple as that. But yeah, there has to be something severe that happens, when you see things like that. Other item I wanted to mention, craziness. Oh, go ahead, X. Go ahead, Grumpy.
Alex says, Auburn could be number 1 in college basketball. AP top 25 poll tomorrow. They beat Iowa State. Number 5, number 12, UNC, and the Memphis team who beat UConn. Okay, that doesn't matter. Auburn plays at Cameron Indoor this coming Wednesday. Well, then they will only be number 1 for a couple of days as they play Duke.
I'll let you watch this. This is Mac Hollins.
Yes, I saw this.
Your opinion on this. Grumpy has not seen it, I'm sure.
I'll do my best.
What the hell is he
See how he's dressed, X? Grumpy?
Yes.
He's not wearing shoes. He's an idiot.
Do you want to know why he doesn't wear shoes?
Because he's from a foreign country?
No, because he wants to feel grounded with the earth.
Are you serious?
That's literally the reason why.
You know what? I hope he gets frostbite.
I saw this. I'm like, sorry, dude, you're ridiculous. I'm like, wear your shoes. It's freezing temperature and it's snowing out there. I got nothing for you.
He just should have went out there and just even 20 below. He just should have been wearing T-shirts and shorts, right? TJ,
that's what I like. Get ready for the cold, baby.
Training for Canada, baby.
And this just a moment ago. This is as easy.
That was the guy who
again arguing with the fans.
Things at him from the stands.
They had to have the police get him off the field. Again, when the police had to take part in the games, the shit has gone off the rails.
I'm just saying, as the Jaguars head coach, how do you not put a hit out on CJ Stroud?
He probably didn't realize what happened. He's got his bags packed.
Doug Peterson should have. I guess maybe they don't have to pay him as much if they fire him at the end of the season versus now. But this, again, like this, we talk about how Trevor Lawrence gave himself up, got tattooed. I'll let you watch this one. Want your opinion on this here. This is, again, Patrick Mahomes. Remember, earlier on in the season, he pretended like he was going to go out of bounds and then kept running and doing his little Patrick Mahomes run. Oh, man, that's just so impressive. I'll let you watch this, and I want your opinion on it. I think something needs to be done about this. This is, again, from a different week, but this is, again, against them, against the Bears.
Only game that Detroit's lost was to Kansas City?
I think so. This is just one of those where I'm like, I'm going to slide, but it's like people are afraid and terrified to hit because, right, like you got to get rid of the slide nonsense, or if you're going to fake slide, there has to be a penalty if you don't actually slide, like a 15-yard and loss of down.
Like they did in college.
right here, right? I'm going to slide. Oh, I'm not actually going to slide. Again, like if you're gonna submit the slide or start slowing up like you're gonna slide and you don't slide, 15-yard loss of down.
How good is Detroit? How good is Detroit though? Really?
They're really damn good.
They're really good.
Best team in
the
the NFL.
only thing that can beat them is the analytics geese up top and Tank McNamara on the sidelines.
Dan Campbell, baby. I always told you I was a big Dan Campbell fan, bro.
It's gonna wind up beating them.
No. Go ahead.
Alex says also they beat number 4 Houston in November 9th.
Yeah. I'll let you watch this, but I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to catch. The Steelers won again today, securing another winning record. Mike Tomlin's like 18th winning record of the season. Again, the Bengals find a way to lose. The Bengals are about as Bengali as they could be. Zach Taylor should not have a job, but he'll keep a job just like Marvin Lewis kept the job for like 20 years.
14 years, I think. 15.
14 years, whatever it was. Now, this is one of these where it was kind of towards a goal. I was in the red zone. I'll let you watch it. I just don't know how this was blown as another call.
He's right in here.
Guys over the line, offensive lineman snaps off, and they call him full start.
He thinks he's reacting to the movement by Landon Roberts, number 50. Call goes against Cincinnati. Pittsburgh benefits, and they get the ball back.
That was right at the end of the half.
Yeah, and again, like that's one of those though where it does hurt you to talk about a game that's decided by like a touchdown that impacts you. It's just like, it's just like again, missed calls. Mike Tomlin, hell of a job this season, great job. I never would have thought that team ever could have done anything like that. So very impressed with the job he did as a head coach this year.
Yeah, I told you he's excellent. I told you that I thought they were going to win division. Didn't I say that to start the season?
Still shocked by their play. Always.
They're well coached. And I'll tell you what, Russell Wilson has had a bounce back year for them.
All righty. We'll get here through some comments, and I've got 2 more things we want to show there before we'll get to the end.
Alex Moreau says, how about the scene that'll be beautiful in beautiful Buffalo tonight? Foot of snow and they host the 49ers. I tell you what, I am rooting for Buffalo and Detroit this year. Those are the 2 teams I want to see in the Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, gotcha. Good. There, next X.
Alex also says TJ only mentions City's age when the Ballon d'Or winner Rodri gets hurt and they struggle badly without him. Weird time. Okay, no, I already addressed that.
One guy doesn't impact the team.
It doesn't matter. A defensive midfielder is
let's keep moving.
Yeah. Okay. Drew says, is it just me or does anyone just get so irritated watching Lamar Jackson play quarterback? If this guy didn't have legs, he'd be so average. He's a great athlete and a great football player, but he's not a great quarterback. Alex Monroe said this for days. Ryan Day deserves to be gone since you can't beat Michigan and you can't make the Big Ten title game when you have the most expensive college football roster ever assembled. I'm going to question that I'm going to bet there's other schools that have
spent more.
That's absolutely Alabama.
Tua Tagovailoa is 0-8 in games where the weather's below 40 degrees.
Yeah, you got to be warm for him. Unfortunately, football is not played in the summer. Syracuse is 9-3, says Alex. Well, that's pretty good. Alex also says, ask the pod, do you know that Melvin Gordon has the second most rushing yards in history in one season, but he didn't win the Heisman Trophy in 2014. He also played in a Power 5 conference. Is that true? I don't know.
He also didn't have the touchdowns that Ashton Genty has, so that's another big factor.
But a quarterback probably won that year, right?
It was Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
He's making the argument for Cam Ward winning Heisman.
Cam Ward.
He sucks. No shot.
Yeah.
No shot.
And I think Cam Ward's been really good for them, I think.
They play no one.
Okay.
That year, Marcus Mariota, think about it. He led college football in passing yards with 4,400 passing yards. He had 42 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and he also was running the ball all over the place. So again, he also had 770 rushing yards and 15 rushing touchdowns. Okay, so there you go. No shot.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Gungar says, fellow Islanders fans, cheer up. At least they're not the Jets. The Jets.
Yeah, that's the other segment I had, was talking a little bit about the Jets. Rodgers is done. I don't know if you saw it.
He won't be back next year. Alex says Genty also played more games than Barry Sanders. Has he? He's only played 12. How many Barry Sanders play? 12 or 13, right? They never played 13?
This game,
they played 13.
Jets lost this game, by the way. Look at this. Just
1-7. You get intercepted by a defensive line
tackle who takes a pick 6 to the house.
He used to play for the Jets, so you know it meant something to him.
Yep.
The Jets just gave that game away. Just gave it away.
Yep, and they lost right at the end. It's just about, I don't know. Jets, look at this. I mean, he's missing wide. Look at this. Garrett Wilson.
Wide open. He missed him.
Oh.
He's not. Here's the thing. When you get to be age 40, you're just not as good anymore. You can bring it in short doses, but overall, you're just not as good. Only one guy's been able to do it. Only one.
Yep. All right, more comments there, X, please.
Freedom Front Red says, is today Festivus Day? Did I miss it? Is this why the family is airing out their grievances?
No, it's not Festivus Day. I don't think that's something that I don't remember which politician does.
Seinfeld is Festivus.
This is why the Navy quarterback didn't even get to go to New York for the Heisman ceremony, because he doesn't play in a Power 5 school. Cam Ward, for me. Miami doesn't have a defense. Agreed. He's done all that he could do. Yeah, I mean, I think he's been really good for them, but he might go to the ceremony. I just don't think he's winning.
Alrighty, let's remove that tier X. And now this, Kyler Murray just doing dumb Kyler Murray things. Just look at this. And again, team's up, 3rd and 7. Now, the Vikings do score after this. They take the lead, and Kyler Murray can't lead him down the field. Just watch this. Just hard.
Harrison to the bottom, and it is 1-on-1. Murray keeps it alive. Kyler Murray looking to make magic. Heaves one. Murphy picks it off. Right into his.
I'm sorry. I'm like, we talk about like, this is something like a rookie would do. Kyler Murray needs to do better than this. Look at this, just running around, just whoop! I'm heaving it up. Sorry.
Yeah, I think he was trying to throw it out of bounds. He just didn't get it there.
Anyway, continue on there, X. What other comments do we have?
Travis Hunter is a cardio king. Hype equals votes and money.
Yeah, helps. Definitely helps.
Gungun says, TJ, how many squat thrusts did you do at the gym today? 0. At McDonald's, who really orders the fish fillet? No one.
I like fish fillet. Not bad.
Really?
I don't really eat McDonald's though that much. So fish fillet is not bad.
Boise State has dominated the Mountain West Conference for years.
Okay.
Good for them. I wouldn't mind seeing them. I'm glad they're making the tournament.
JP, Grumpy.
For what it's worth, the Florida Panthers are still really good. Yes, they are.
Drew says here, Grumpy, I don't know. I don't want to be that guy, but the way that you use shit can isn't the actual definition of shit can. Yeah, that's typical Grump, though. Goon says, TJ seems confident tonight. What better time than tonight for TJ to attempt pronouncing your popular Yiddish word? Shvets, bube, I don't know, oy vey, and then kutzpah.
Oy vey? That's oy vey?
I don't know. Oy vey.
Say it again. Say it again. The first one was wrong, by the way. The second one was also wrong. Okay.
These are all new Yiddish words. I don't have any use for Yiddish.
Oy vey, it said oy gewelt, not oy vey.
Oy vey.
What was the last one?
Last one is kutzpah.
It's chutzpah. See, you got. I think you got just oy is the only one you got right. Every other one was wrong.
Here you go, Al Grumpy. Fun fact: if
VAR had been introduced in 1955, Madrid was only. That's just
next one. I don't even care about that. There you
go.
Losers lament.
The Buccaneers offense has absolutely gotten neutered by injuries this year. First was Mike Evans, then Chris Godwin. Bucky Irving just got hurt today, and Baker was hurt. Baker was hurt for about 10
minutes. Guys back in the game here. Al says everybody is healthy now for Man City. Okay, it's not. DS played today. Yep. Okay. Also, okay. That's not even true. So I'm just going to move on to the next one. It's just not true. Again, I don't want to keep hammering City. We've already discussed what the problem is. We can agree to disagree. Goon Grump.
Why didn't Tommy Cutlets start for the Giants on Thanksgiving? The end result was quite unfulfilling. I think he was hurt.
Good. Losing is what the Giants need right now.
Yeah, but if you're going to draft Shador Sanders,
that's about the worst decision you can have here. Freedom Fund Adventure, Grumpy.
TJ stated Syracuse will pay for that. You know who will never pay for it? TJ Sunex. Am I right, Grumpy? Did Sunex ever get you your Father's Day gift? No, he did not.
Look at that. I already got Grumpy a Father's Day gift.
He did. TJ did.
Freedom Fund Adventure.
Grumpy, TJ, and X, what is on your sports Christmas wish list? What about, are you asking Santa for it? Don't say fire Lou, because that is obvious.
Yeah, that would be the big one. Lou's gone from the Islanders. Patrick Waugh gone from the Islanders. We restart, rebuild. I don't really have a Christmas wish list. That's the team I probably care for the most, and it's just like, it is what it is at that point. Pittsburgh wins a bowl game. There you go, with the backup quarterback that haven't won a game since. They can win the bowl game. Go ahead there. What about you, Grumpy?
I haven't even thought about it, honestly.
RDX, what about you?
Real Madrid to win La Liga. They're not winning Champions League, so
all X every day's Christmas. Whenever he comes over the house, he's multiple drinks. He takes waters. He takes sodas. He takes cheer wines. He eats food. He brings his dog over. He shits in my yard immediately, and he eats like there's no tomorrow. He doesn't feed him ever. I mean, all he does is eat and shit at this house, and X eats all my damn foods like a herd of locusts hits the house.
All right, here you go, Grumpy. Derek Monroe.
This is probably Derek Monroe. Denver isn't a good team, that says TJ. TJ, do you realize the Broncos are in the playoffs if the season ended today?
Yeah, they're 7-5. We'll see. They're third in their division.
I mean, I think Sean Payton's done a great job with them this year.
I think so too. Here you go. Next comment there, Grump.
Alex Monroe says, y'all really are so jealous that KC keeps winning, crying. The Raiders aren't winning. Brady got away with spying on teams, deflating balls, cheating, having the league give them calls. It's just not true. But that's okay.
Goon.
Gungu says, last night we learned that TJ doesn't enjoy dips. What is everyone preferred chips? What's your favorite chip, X?
I don't know. Probably
Doritos. Next question. Freedom, Fun, and Adventure. Come on, X. We got limited time here, buddy. I don't need you debating and deliberating what their favorite chip is. You should know what chip is.
I like potato chips, regular plain potato chips.
Okay. Next one.
TJ, have you ever gotten into an altercation in sports?
Not really, no.
He'd have to play to do that. Okay.
Tony Cheese says, I was watching the game and I didn't figure out until Friday that they had a timeout left and I almost shit my pants. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about as bad as it got. Drew.
Bucky Irving was only hurt for about a quarter. That's true.
Al.
Remember when this pod said the Eagles and the Steelers sucked and that the 3-9 Jets would be winning a Super Bowl?
Okay. I never said the Jets are winning the Super Bowl. That was Grumpy. And I do think the Eagles still suck. They're not a good team, and I don't think much of the Steelers. Neither of those.
The Eagles will never beat the Lions.
Yeah. Go ahead there. Freedom, Fun, Adventure.
I thought the Jets had a chance.
Freedom, Fun, Adventure says here, Grumpy, do you remember Arsenal player Tony Adams? Joe Strummer wrote a song named after Tony Adams. It's not really about him, except at the end, Tony Adams should be captain. Blackout in New York City.
I do not remember Tony Adams. Who's winning Rookie of the Year, says Alex? Knicks or Jaden Daniels? I don't know.
No idea.
The season's not over yet.
They'll probably recognize Mahomes as a rookie and give him the award too, just like they give everything else.
Drew says, honestly, I don't know what's going on with the Texans. If it weren't for Nico Collins and Joe Mixon, they might have lost this game. Not to mention the defense of them has been disappointing. Yeah, it's true.
Sophomore slump.
Stroud's come back down to earth a little bit.
Derek
Moreau says, this wasn't Detroit's only loss this season, Grumpy. That was from last year's season open where Detroit won in Kansas City. Okay. TJ, you said it was this year.
My mistake. Sorry.
Drew says, X, would you just say that pass from Baker looked a bit Mahomey there?
God. The next one. I don't even know. Freedom, Fun, Adventure.
Did you see that Baker's father stole $12 million from him and won't repay it? Some other celeb had that happen to them and withdrew the charges. They reported to the IRS as a gift. Justice. Interesting. Freedom Fun Adventure says, anyway, Mayfield's dad pulled the reverse of what you two were doing to Grumpy with all the money from these shows.
Yeah. So, he's suing him or something like that. Anyway, here, Mahomes, Alex Monroe.
Brady scandals are not true, yet the whole football world knows about it. Brady had nothing to do with any of it. Nice to try, Grump. Let me know when Mahomes gets caught for cheating once, let alone twice. He's got hey, guys, can you help me up? Let me know when these guys are coming, okay? He talks to the referee, said, can you let me know when they're bearing down on me?
Alrighty. I don't know what you're talking about, but that's fine there, Grumpy. Let's end and wrap things up here today. What do you want to say before you end the show, Grumpy?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't. From TJ, the grumpy old man, and Son X.
X, we want to say before we wrap things up, buddy.
Want to appreciate everybody for coming out and listening as always. Love the interaction in the comments. We will see you guys next time.
Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you, Grumpy. Thank you, Son X. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Thank you.
Later.